Good evening, folks. Welcome aboard Rant and a Ride. Saying that. And we're southbound on the Don Shula Expressway. I'm doing only about 52 miles an hour. Slow traffic ahead. Everybody's afraid of that state trooper in the center lane. And 64 degrees. Kind of light breeze, clear night, crisp. And I really need to get out from behind this slow poke. Man, let's do it now. Excuse me. Oh, they're texting me. Today's rant is going to be a little bit more of a serious one. Just give my opinion or something, and hopefully get somebody else's opinion. You know, I was growing up. I grew up in East Little Havana here in Miami. It's just west of downtown Miami. It's where most of the poor immigrants first lived when they arrived in this country, and we lived there for approximately 8 years. It was a very densely populated area, a lot of rental buildings, a few residences here and there. Stone's throw away from downtown Miami and the Miami River. We used to fish in the Miami River as kids, and the area was not as rough as it is today. It was pretty much a safe area. It started getting rough during the Mariel boat lift in '79, and that's when we moved out to the suburbs. But there was always kids outside. We always used to play outside, especially during summer break, from sun up to sundown. You go home, you eat lunch, and you go right back outside again. We used to play football. We used to play board games. We used to play baseball with a tennis ball. Limited spaces. We used to improvise a lot. We used to ride our bikes a lot. Sometimes we'll play football against the kids from the next block and so forth. We had our little improvised wrestling ring, and do our little wrestling acts. Some of us, like myself, my mom, she got a pant sleeve, and she sewed it on one end with a couple of holes, and it became a mask. So with electric tape, put our necks on it, and I became Mr. X, Wrestler X. And we all had our little gimmicks and all that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's a typical Miami maneuver. You need to exit for the center lane. And, when you had so many kids, you had to kind of hold your own. If not, people come to pick on you, And I was able to do that most of the time. Sometimes, you gotta do something. You gotta kick some ass to get respect. And all it takes is one, or challenge somebody. Sometimes you don't even have to fight, and you get respect when you show you're not afraid of anybody. But I always felt for the, and this is where we're gonna get in our subject. Our subject is gonna be homosexuality. The kids, it was hard back then. If I'm the one that believes that when you're attracted to, the word doesn't come to me right now, it won't come to me. It's set at birth. You're either going to be heterosexual, bisexual, curious, strictly gay, strictly hetero, or confused, or your orientation. That's what I meant to say, your orientation. And some kids, you know, they're born and you can tell that they're gay, they're feminine, their ways. And back then, you know, if you showed effeminate characteristics, and the kids would come from blocks on end to whip on your ass. Those kids went through hell growing up. Everybody will whip on them, everybody will beat them up, call you names. Now, I wasn't one to physically hit somebody who was weaker than me. Never did that. But I was, you know, part of the name calling and all that. Although I didn't actually attack anybody one-on-one like that. But I was part of the group, you can say. You know, life teaches everybody valuable lessons. And, you know, I've been becoming an adult. You know, you get to see the other side. And I've been a gay rights supporter for many, many years. I have family that are gay members. I have a lot of friends, acquaintances that are gay, lesbian. I don't know any transgendered fellows yet, or transsexuals. I got well-respected co-workers that are gay, and it doesn't matter anymore. You know, I think that the haters, the bashers, are the ones that are curious themselves. They're homophobics, and there's got to be a reason for that phobia. You know, some people ask me, "Are you for sex marriage?" Sure, marriage is a contract. Why not? I believe in, live and let live. Just because I don't practice it doesn't mean I'm going to bash it. I really am convinced that your orientation is in your genes. God didn't make everybody perfect. Everybody's not right-handed. Everybody's not left-handed. We're all different heights. Some of us tend to gain weight, like myself. Some will eat a refrigerator every day and not gain a pound. All our bodies are different. Our metabolism is different. Why can't our orientation be different too? Some of my gay friends tell me, people say that they tell them you're gonna burn in hell. Why? Why should their orientation? Why should we judge a person for how they live their life just by their orientation? You know, you really think about it, the clearer it becomes. It has no bearing on it. I think that type of discrimination is the next frontier. We have to stop that. Growing up, they call you a maricon or a chenna or or a fag. Those are fighting words. They were insults. So for you to be gay, it was an insult. I think this world is getting past that. I see kids in high school, even middle school, where you can see they're openly gay or lesbian. They're boyish, or they're feminine, and it's not that hard on them anymore. I think back, when I was in school, wow, someone like that will really get their butt whipped in every period. I'm not going to say any names, but growing up, there was a very popular kid in our school. He was very fair-skinned. He wore his hair long, had a lightish, blondish hair, although he was Hispanic, and had a gorgeous mother. Oh, we got an accent on the other side. Uh-oh, bad one too. Real hot mom. And in 7th grade is one day. It's to us, 7th grade was junior high back then. It was Ada Merritt. Junior high is when the first time they forced you to take a shower. And you had to take a shower in front of the other kids. The squad leaders were first, and then after PE, we're all sweaty and all that, and we take our shower. It was only done like the first 3 or 4 weeks just to get the kids, out of that, from being bashful or whatever, and then they forgot about it. As soon as I got a little pool, nobody ever took a shower again. We all went back to becoming smelly. But this kid I was talking about, I didn't notice at first because we're all trying to be respectful to each other. Just look at the ground, walk and look at the ground. But somebody else says, "Hey," I almost said his name. I'm going to call him Tomas, which is a made-up name. Hey, anybody notice Tomas? When he takes a shower, his wee-wee is very hard, standing up at attention. I said, "Oh shit, he couldn't hold it. I guess he can't control it, even with that cold water." But one day, out of curiosity on Facebook, I decided to look him up, look up Tomas, and sure enough, I found him. A picture of himself, looks a lot like he did back then. Of course, a lot older. His hair is not mostly gray, but you can tell it's him, and he's there, holding the hand of his same-sex partner. I said, wow, he hit it well. But now thinking about it, he used to hang around with a lot of girls and all that. We thought it was his girlfriends. It goes back to the saying, what is it? He was as happy as a faggot in a boys' locker room. I guess Tomas was real happy back then. But anyway, that's my take on gay rights and same-sex marriage. It's not for me, but it's for other people, and we're all different. Like I said, we're all made different. I really don't think it's a behavior you learn. Maybe if your orientation is somewhere middle of the road, you learn it and you like it. But you know what? Dad always told me a man's penis is like a dog's tail. If it's not happy, it's not going to wag. And that's the end of that. And so we exit here, Princeton. It's down to 61 degrees. I'm guessing that if we get closer to the heart of Princeton, it'll be 56, 57. If you want to hang on just for a couple of minutes more, we'll find out. I gotta look into it and see if it's a little bit higher in elevation or why this little pocket in South Dade is always colder than surrounding areas that are very close by. And sometimes it's as much as 10 degrees. 64 back in Coral Terrace. It's 61 here in Princeton, just exiting the highway. And as we get closer to the center of town, we're going to see how much lower it gets. So a little bit breezier tonight. So it'll feel, it's supposed to get down to 50 degrees down here. It'll feel a little cooler than that. But I'll be home. I'll be in my bed, under my covers. We've never, ever had to run the heater down here. Just close your windows. In fact, my AC is always on. Year round, 73 degrees. If it's 68 in the house, the AC is not going to run. As soon as it climbs over 73, it's going to start up. Cool the house down again. I don't think my AC is, I don't think I've heard it run in the last couple of days. Might be wrong. It's still 61 now. It's kind of unpredictable. It really is. Guess what? 61 degrees. It's going to drop 1 degree. Not one. Surprisingly. Hope you enjoyed our ride. Our little rant. Hope to hear some comments. And a couple of minutes away from our destination. So we're going to shut it down. 61 degrees in the heart of Princeton. I'm out.